This is CNN Breaking News.
This is Piers Morgan Live. Breaking news tonight. A Malaysian Airlines plane carrying 239 people bound for Beijing is missing.
Thousands of people are fighting to solve a mystery. How did a large passenger plane, 239 people on board, simply vanish? At this hour, investigators working in a race against time to find any clue. Why was there no SOS? 1 minute, a plane tracked by radar on this route, and then at this point right there, it was simply gone. And tonight it's a daunting task for the search team.
But still no plane found, and millions of dollars spent and wasted on a search gone nowhere. The former Prime Minister of Malaysia claims that Flight 370, which disappeared on March 8th with 239 lucky passengers on board, had been hijacked by the CIA as part of a vast cover-up, either to hide the hijacking from the press and or quell fears among the general public about international travel. What goes up must come down, Mohammed wrote in a blog post. Airplanes can go up and stay up for long periods of time, but even they must come down eventually. They can land safely or they may crash, but airplanes don't just disappear. Certainly not these days with all the powerful communication systems, radio and satellite tracking, and filmless cameras which operate almost indefinitely and process huge storage capacities. So far, all that has been reported by the useless mainstream media is that the plane veered left and suddenly disappeared out of thin air. Of course, the CIA denies any involvement, and the mainstream media says there is no evidence to support the former Prime Minister's theory, writing him off as some kind of crackpot. You got that right. The former Prime Minister of Malaysia can't be trusted. Currently, the mainstream narrative is that the plane crashed into the Indian Ocean, but of course not a single piece of tangible evidence has been found, just conspiracy theories. Someone is hiding something, the former Prime Minister added. It is not fair that Malaysia should take the blame. For some reason, the media will not print anything that involves Boeing or the CIA. He also goes on to say that clearly Boeing and certain agencies have the capacity to take over uninterruptible control of commercial airliners, of which MH17 Boeing 777 just happened to be one. Good afternoon, passengers. This is the pre-boarding announcement for flight MH370 to Beijing. We are now inviting those passengers with small children and any passengers requiring special assistance to begin boarding at this time. Please have your boarding pass and identification ready. Regular boarding will begin in approximately 10 minutes time before hijacking. Thank you. I'm Christopher Green, and you've been tuning into AMTV, alternative media television. Hard-hitting and in your face. Of course we know they're lying to us. Of course we know this is bullshit because the facts don't add up. And that's the point. There is no facts outside of what we already know. There is no tangible, credible evidence. Until we have that, until we have bodies, until we have DNA sampling, we have nothing. What we have is the largest conspiracy, flight conspiracy, since 9/11. I suggest the planes were hijacked. I suggest the people are still alive. I suggest this is part of a much more severe, sinister agenda. And leg 2 of the missing flight is yet to begin. I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting and in your face as usual. Get this out everywhere, make it viral, hard-hitting and in your face.
Let's start off with this article out of CNN, and it's titled "Fighter Jets Intercept Plane That Breached Summit Flight Restriction," and it was written on March 24th, and this happened the same exact day that the nuclear security summit at The Hague started. And basically it just says how the Royal Dutch Air Force scrambled fighter jets to intercept an LAN cargo Boeing 777 bound for Amsterdam, going right over The Hague at the time. And this Boeing 777 breached security protocol and basically was just approaching an unrestricted area without clearance. And they got caught. And they were diverted to Germany.
You're watching Sky News. It is 5 o'clock British summer time here in London. And staying with this breaking news story tonight, dramatic story that it appears that a Malaysian Airlines plane may have been shot down.
Well, first of all, it's important to understand that there's always multiple reasons why these Western elites do the things they do. There's always multiple agendas here. But I got to say right now, the BRICS nations, this whole thing between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, this is one of the main reasons, okay? They just got done signing a deal, creating a new development bank only days before this event occurred.
Now this is the shocking part here. This rebel leader's coming out stating that these bodies, and this is no joke, are not fresh. And there's no graphic footage here. I paused it in a spot where there was no bodies. I'm going to leave a link so you guys can come over here and watch this. For those of you that can stomach it and that want to know the truth, you can look at these bodies for yourself. You don't have to wonder. You can look, and you're going to see what I saw. The same thing many people are asking here, what's going on?
Okay, we have this video released by a Ukrainian news agency that shows these army officers or something taking passports, as you can see here, out of the back of an SUV. And look, at these passports look brand new. Okay, there isn't a scratch on them. Remember, this plane got shot down, and there's videos of this plane going and hitting the ground and exploding. Okay, now how these passports came out unscathed, it beats me. Okay, it just doesn't add up. And why is this army guy taking these passports out of the back of a Jeep and scattering them all over the place? We saw photos of these passports, these exact passports, on the ground.
I do have a couple new pieces of information about arms continuing to flow across the border since the shootdown.
Okay.
We have new evidence that the Russians intend to deliver heavier and more powerful multiple rocket launchers to the separatist forces in Ukraine, and have evidence that Russia is firing artillery from within Russia to attack Ukrainian military positions. This is some pieces of info I've been able to get from our intelligence friends for you. I can't tell you what the information is based on. I know that's disappointing to you, Matt, but was able to get just some of the data points we've seen about the continuing arms flow across the border.
Right. It's not me who you need to convince. It's the rest of the world. I don't understand.
The rest of the world who has seen these separatists shoot down a dozen planes, who has now seen a separatist leader come out and say they had this missile, and appear to at least take credit for something similar to this. So I think there's a preponderance of evidence. We went through it yesterday. I'm happy to continue going through it.
I don't think we need to go through all of what you guys presented as in lieu of evidence. But I would like to know what you're basing this new evidence that the Russians intend to send any heavier equipment.
It's based on some intelligence information. I can't get into the sources and methods behind it, but I was able to tell you that.
Is there a YouTube video or something that you could point us to that would show?
Other questions?
I'm just wondering if what it is.
I just said I wasn't going to give you the underlying source for it.
Marie, did you
but
say...
then, look, it's not the question is...
I don't give you more information and just say nothing? If I can't give you the source? No, I'm actually asking you a question here. If I can't give you the source and method, would you prefer I not give you the information?
Marie, I think that it would be best for all concerned.
Are there any other questions?
If when you make an allegation like that, you're able to back it up with something more than just because I say so.
That's not what I said. It's based on intelligence information. It's not because I said so.
It's not me that's making these allegations. I mean, you guys get up and at the UN Security Council make these allegations. The Secretary gets on the Sunday shows and make these allegations. And then when you present your evidence to back up those allegations, it has appeared to, at least for some, fall short of definitive proof.
I would strongly disagree with that.
Okay, so you're saying that they're moving in a new and heavier weaponry. What can you say? What kind?
I said multiple rocket launchers.
Multiple rocket launchers of the Buk kind or of the
I can check and see on the
same
specific
ones? And I can't remember.
They're
now
firing
the rest
artillery from within Russia to attack Ukrainian military.
Do you believe that that rockets, missiles, artillery, whatever fired from Russian territory took down these two Ukrainian planes, or do you not even have confirmation yet that that happened?
We're still looking into exactly what brought down those planes.
So you're sure that they did?
I said we're still looking into it.
I know, you're sure that the planes went down.
Oh, that's my understanding.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you don't know. I mean, the Ukrainians have claimed that they were shot down from from Russian territory.
There are some conflicting reports about the location of the.
And you haven't yet made a
Correct.
determination, but
because we don't make determinations until we have facts, and then we present them to you as much as we can.
Yes, but you are sure that the Russians are firing artillery.
We have information, yes, that shows that.
Okay,
Yes.
but you don't have information that they shot
We don't have
down.
definitive information about how those Ukrainian jets were brought
Okay.
down.
I think something's going to happen in the next week. I really do. I think there's a turning point here, and Putin is going to decide to thumb his nose at the international community, or he's going to at least pull back. He will not apologize, I don't think.
But, you know, we've just come now through 12 years of war that the United States has been committed to. This smells like war, but we're not going to have another war. This is a job for SEAL Team 6. Call him, kill the guy. Call him and kill the guy. That's all, right? Yeah.
You're not advocating violence.
Not advocating violence, but he's a psychopath. He doesn't care. He just couldn't care less. And a sanction, what does he care? He's got all yeah, exactly. SEAL Team 6. Yeah, we'd like to schedule. Could we schedule a party? We'd like you to deliver a pizza to Vladimir Putin.